Welcome back. This is the third lesson recording for IM1, March 26, 2021. Now we are up to card number 7 of Desmos. Here it says to evaluate y is equal to 5 minus 2x when x is equal to 4. What does that mean? That means you just need to substitute that x is equal to 4 into the original equation. Y is equal to 5 minus 2x. Which just means whenever you see an x in the equation, you use the value of 4. So it's going to be 5 minus 2 times 4, which is same as 5 minus, what's 2 times 4? That's 8, which is same as negative 3. So in this case, y is going to be negative 3. Just simple substitution. Next problem is very similar. However, we have an absolute value symbol inside the right hand side. Okay, so it is the same thing. X is equal to 4. That means you are substituting for value of x to be 4 whenever you see a variable x in the equation. So 5 minus, instead of 2x, instead of x, I'm going to put my value 4 in there. Remember, absolute value is a grouping symbol. That means you need to evaluate what's inside first before you take the absolute value. Okay, you only take the absolute value of something, some number, when it's just a number inside by itself. So 5 minus, that becomes 5 minus 2 times 4, which is 8. And that stays, and that's 5 minus 8 is negative 3. Now this is the time you are going to be getting rid of the absolute value symbol, because you are going to apply the absolute value of negative 3. This is the time to apply absolute value of negative 3, which turns out to be 3. So y is going to be equal to positive 3. Notice the difference between this and the previous slide. Okay, because of the absolute value, the final answer became positive 3. Alright, so then just a time filler until others get caught up. I want you to design a mathy t-shirt here. Be creative, see what we can come up with. Okay, now we're going to go into what is sometimes, always, or never. Okay, so is the statement below going to be true sometimes, always, or never? That's what I want to hear from you. Okay, so if I said the statement was Mrs. Van Horn is older than Diana, and I'm talking about Diana from our class. Okay, so is she always going to be older than Diana in our class? Well, it so happens my birthday is coming up, so I am going to get older even more. But anyway, so what do you think? Well, it's going to be true always, because as I get older, Diana is also going to get older. So no matter what year it is, it's always going to be true. So I'm going to say always true. What about this statement? The temperature is 67 degrees. Okay, so the temperature, let's just assume that temperature outside right now is 67 degrees. Is that always going to be true? Not always. Sometimes it's going to be higher, sometimes it's going to be true or lower. Okay? Is it never true? Well, there will be days it will be 67 degrees, or there will be times it will be 67 degrees. So it's certainly not never, it's not always, so this is sometimes going to be true. So you're going to use the same logic, but now we're going to apply that to math. Alright, what about negative 4 is less than 9? Is this going to be always true, sometimes true, or never true? Well, which is a bigger number? 9 is a bigger number, so alligator mouth is opening to the bigger number. So negative 4 is going to be always smaller than 9. So that's always true. What about x is greater than 1? Now we're introducing a variable x. Okay? You read it as x is greater than 1, and is it going to be always true, sometimes true, or never true? Well, sometimes x could be bigger than 1, like if x was 2, if x was 1.1, or if x was 100, it's going to be true sometimes. Is it always true? Well, sometimes the x could be zeros. It could be -1. It could be any number below 1. So it's not always true. Is it ever true? Yeah, it is ever true when it is greater than 1, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is sometimes true. What about -5 is greater than -2? We read that as -5 is greater than -2. Is that sometimes true, or always true, or never true? Well, -5 and -2, which is the bigger number? When we say bigger number, we're not talking about the number itself, we're talking about more positive, right? So that's the tricky part with negative numbers, is that the bigger that number itself, we're really talking about number being more negative, which means it is a smaller number. So -5 is a smaller number than -2. So -5 is not greater than -2. So this is never true. Let's keep going. What about 3x plus 5 is equal to 2? Is that sometimes true, always true, or never true? It's sometimes true because when we do evaluate x, when x is equal to, subtract 5 from both sides, that's -3, and then divide by 3. So when x is equal to -1, this is going to be true. Okay, but if x is any other number, then it is not going to be true. So there is a case that it is true, so it is sometimes true. What about 61 is equal to 61? Well, that's always true. They are always going to be equal to each other. What about -6? 6 is less than -6. Is it ever true? Okay, they're equal to each other, or less than or equal to each other, but it is never going to be less than -6. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope that was helpful. Again, please use the time wisely on Tuesday so that you're going to be well prepared for the unit test on Friday. That's all, folks. Have a great weekend.